Let's start with the beginning of this cross-examination, because the defense attorney brings out that she took photos of the back of the house where the impressions in the grass were reportedly seen. What do you think of this? But there were impressions in the grass and you didn't follow those in your investigation argument by the defense.
If you're the defense and your argument is that your client didn't do it, then you're going to have to present another bad guy to the jury, right? And that bad guy sometimes can be the police and their investigation. And if you can present to the jury that, hey, listen, they didn't investigate this with an open mindset. They didn't pursue all possible suspects. They didn't, turn over every stone that they possibly could, but instead they were a bit myopic. They had their blinders on and they zeroed in on my client and therefore didn't investigate this properly, then they become the bad guy. And that's the way that you can construct your defense. And I think we're beginning to see the beginnings of that, or the outlines of that type of an argument.
I think the other part of the argument based on this cross-examination is the defense pointing to these $2 million in life insurance policies, but get this, the beneficiary of those was not Holli, the defendant, the wife, but rather the ex-wife, Deanna, is the beneficiary of these. And so does that help? Is that another piece in the puzzle for the defense to say she wasn't even motivated by life insurance, that went to the ex-wife?
Absolutely. The prosecution, and I did this when I was a prosecutor, will say again and again, we don't have to prove motive. But the jurors want to hear it, especially in a case like this. They want to know the why. Why would a wife turn in the middle of the night and shoot her husband in the same bed that she's lying in? Why? What would motivate her to do something like that? And if it's money, well, then they can hang their hat on something like that. But if the defense is able to show, hey, there was no motive here. I understand the prosecution doesn't have to prove a motive, but they've given you no reason to understand why this crime would take place. Again, that can be a powerful argument for them to make.
And Josh, I agree with you. Everybody wants to know what the motive was. Why did this happen? Every jury wants to know that, although it's not an element.